Kevin has cerebral palsy, but he can understand everything you say. So, so he just wants to say that he supports the cause. Kevin's a member of the Labour Party, and he loves like people's rights, legal fairness. That's his big thing. And yeah, he's always getting out and about. Yeah, that doesn't stop him. So yeah, just wanted to say he supports you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah. Back question now. You're.
Are we looking at me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm fine.
Okay,
I'm not
great.
shy. I'm not shy.
I've got something that I could use your advice on, Tommy. We're producing, we've been, the last 2 years, 30 volunteers have worked together to produce an exhibition that's going to open next Friday at Brighton Museum. It's called Queer the Pier.
Oh.
And in it, the community curators have selected an object or a story that they wanted to bring together out of the queer past in the local area and contribute to the museum. One of the stories is of a person known as Colonel Barker, which was a fake name, but essentially might even think of them as a trans man nowadays, were married at St. Peter's Church, lived their whole life in multiple male identities, ended up going to prison, to men's prison in London, but moved out to a women's prison. So a very interesting gender non-conforming history that's very close to the heart of a lot of trans people in Brighton because it places them in the past. However, they were a fascist. And so we've got this inside story of these complex histories within our own communities that I don't think we talk about enough. And I'll give you another example. In the sweeping win by the Tory government in this country in the recent elections, we have one more queer MP in Parliament now than we did when Labour was in. So actually we see the rise of the far right in the lesbian and gay community as well. And so I just wondered if you could speak a little bit about the complex challenges that poses our own communities.
Oh yes, Poland could be an exemplar of such tendencies too, I'm afraid. In my bag somewhere here I have the 3 Guinness by Virginia Woolf, and there she writes about the images of Il Duce, masculinized and eulogized. And in Poland we have a figure of Jarosław Kaczyński, who is a gay and a homophobe in one. He's the leader of the ruling party and he's the virtual leader of the whole Poland. He's called Prezes, the president of Poland, not a real president but a virtual president. And he's petit, rotund and petulant. It would be interesting to conduct research about him without prejudices of mine. And I'm afraid, EJ, that you are very right about the rise of the far right in LGBT circles. I'm very sorry to hear that, but also to support it from evidence from Hungary and Poland. For sure, it's true, and it's true about the Catholic Church too.
Sorry.
But also on an optimistic note, talking in generalities, if you're talking about the Catholic Church, then what's happening in Ireland and what's happened in Ireland recently is a really optimistic thing, generally speaking, isn't it? So that's sort of, yeah.
Yes, I wish Poland were Ireland. I wish we achieved these goals very soon.
How did that happen?
But we've never had James Joyce, you know.
Also, a lot of priests were accused of many things. So the nation actually changed their opinion very, very quickly over the last 10 years. So I left Ireland 12 years ago, or if not more, and the Ireland that I see now is completely different to the Ireland that I grew up in and that I actually lived as a 20-year-old. It's just not the same. And the only difference is that many priests were accused of horrible things, and it changed the nation's mind about what it meant to be a Catholic country, and so they turn their back on it, essentially, and so they vote against it. Everything that's the opposite to the Catholic Church, they vote on it, because there's you know, they feel it in their heart, you know, so...
I hope this will be happening in Poland, although all the horrible accusations come against the priests, and it only harnesses the armor of the nation. The nation says, don't hurt our priests. But slowly and surely we will go in the direction of Ireland. I do hope so.
Hello, I come from another Catholic nation, Italy, so and priests there are pretty protected. But I wanted to talk tonight about. I'm also about the correspondence between different countries and different resistances. I'm in contact with a group in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, it's still illegal to be. There's still kind of the British sodomy law in the constitution, but there's a rise of queer activism, and I think this year the first gay pride, they're going to try and organise the first gay pride in Zimbabwe. So just to make people aware of the fact that there are a lot of possible correspondences that could happen generally.
Yes, thank you. We also have the pride in Poland, even in Lublin, my native city. The pride is called the March of Equality, and that's one of the examples of this alliance between feminism and LGBT movement. It's March of Equality, not only gay pride, and it's very important. I hope it will be kept, not like Morarelli wants in her book, masculinism would rule, and I hope it will not be called the gay pride, but still the March of Equality. Thank you for the Zimbabwean example. Thank you very much. Tom.
First, can I say what a lovely atmosphere it is in this room? It's just a really good atmosphere, so obviously lots of people on the same page. I want to ask about strategy and specifically what you think the role of civil disobedience is, especially considering Extinction Rebellion and their recent rise to the #1 influential movement behind climate change.
Yes, I personally believed in rebellion extinction, and I still believe in it. I took part physically in one of the die-ins. I died in on the concrete in front of the City Hall of Lublin, and I developed pneumonia. But I'm still wholeheartedly supporting the strategy. About civil disobedience, I don't know. Of course, I've read Henry David Thoreau and Martin Luther King and Gandhi and Hannah Arendt on civil disobedience, except that, for instance, now in my situation, I wouldn't be enthusiastic to do civil disobedience.
You have just done it. Yes.
Do you think so?
Yes, absolutely. Of course you do.
Thank you. That's a great compliment.
Yeah, I think being told by the government to take down an artwork and not doing it, that is civil disobedience. Yeah.
You've raised my consciousness.
Yes. I think you've raised ours and lots of other people's too. Maybe this is the point where we make this a more informal event, and thank all of you for asking your wonderful questions and offering your brilliant examples to the discussion. And especially thank you to EJ for organizing this wonderful moment. And especially to Tomasz and Pavel for coming and sharing these really important experiences and making us think these difficult but important thoughts. So thank you, Tomasz and Pavel, very much.
Thank you, Pavel. And thank you, Lara.
Oh, you're welcome. Such a pleasure. Your postcards for solidarity messages are here waiting for you. Please come and take one. Thanks, Louise, for bringing those.